I would like to go into a couple things that I've probably, never shared a lot of it, but I've always kind of avoided talking about Brianna. As you three know, I said that, those memories are mine. And, but I just want to kind of, I don't know, just in sort of a celebration of like who she was. Brianna was such a free spirit. When, when the kids were sledding one day, we were sledding down this long hill, and at the bottom of this hill was a barbed wire fence. Not probably the smartest thing to do in retrospect, but, I would always sled down to the bottom of the hill so that I could catch them, or particularly her. And this was when she was probably, I don't know, 5 years old. And, so we were kind of done, and then she wanted to go again, and we said no. And then she said, well, I guess I'm just going to go. And down she went, so it was like a real panic moment, not knowing whether she was going to stop by herself at the end of the fence. But luckily, even at that age, she had some sense enough to bail off. And then there was just, if you guys remember the picture of her in the kayak at some point, sometimes it shows up. Well, there was a time we were going kayaking, and her mom and I were in a canoe, and Brianna was in the kayak. And there was a dam there that we came up on that had an old dam, and had cracks in it where the water was racing through. And I suggested that we kind of get over to the edge of the river like we normally do and kind of look at it a little bit just before we could shoot down it. And of course, Brianna did not wait for that. And she just went down through that crack of the dam, knowing, not what was on the other side. And of course, it ended up obviously being fine, but she had a real good laugh at, mom and dad being scared to do that, and her having the nerve to kind of do that. So it was just, and that was kind of the way she was just really free spirited about her life. I remember she said, well, I got tired of sleeping in the bed. I don't want to sleep in a bed anymore. So she wanted a hammock, so we bought her a hammock. So she basically took the bed out of the room, and she slept in a hammock, and would just, spend a lot of time reading and things in the bedroom. But, just when she was outside, you just kind of never knew what she was getting into. One time in the middle of the winter, her and a friend, I forget which friend now, but they decided they wanted to camp out in the coldest weather they could just to see how rough it was. So I think it was probably, it was at least 20 below zero that night. And, so they set out there, and, they went out in the tent and sleeping bags, and they made it. I went out to check on them. And I mean, they didn't camp like right next to the house too. Oh no, they had to go out in the woods, a quarter mile, and camp out there somewhere where it's not easy to get back. So, I mean, it's just, her grandfather had an old Jeep, which right after he passed, the Jeep kind of came to us. This was a 1975 CJ5. Well, she had to learn how to drive that. And it was, I was really dubious about that. I mean, no doors, no nothing on that Jeep, seat belts. But yeah, I let her take it out, close to home, at least, which I knew about anyhow. But she would go out and run that Jeep, and then, on nice days, they would drive the Jeep or a car down. And we lived at the end of a mile-long driveway, so she would drive that and park it there. And then, when school was over, bus would leave her off, and she'd drive the Jeep back and stuff. So it was just kind of she was just very, very free spirited, and just a wonderful, endearing way. And, I probably let her get away with a lot of that free spiritedness because it was so endearing. And, up until she disappeared, it's just, bad things weren't happening as a result of a lot of that kind of action. But it it was just wonderful when she would come into a room. You know, she had a very much, which photos don't really capture, but she had a natural grace and poise when she would walk into a room, and just carried herself, and people would look and be amazed. And you know, when they talked to her, because she was so well read, you know, it was just very conversational and all that. And you know, I miss her dearly.